Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. So this morning we're going to do a really quick warm-up of a cat because I like cats and it's the new year, so drawing in pencil's fun. So let's get started. Okay, and today we're drawing on Bristol board with the Color Erase blue pencil. So today I'm going to be drawing cats. I'm doing a really quick gesture drawing, really quick little sketch illustration for you guys. Oh no, there's something on my paper. Alright, so let's go ahead and get rid of that paper. A little stickiness here. Haha, new sheet of paper. Look how fast that was. So, having fun today, of course. I'm trying to get the videos to where they're not so long. Seeing as how everybody's like in the TikToks. They like the TikToks. They like to go and they like to learn something really quick. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. Keep it really quick, really simple, really fast. Hopefully everybody had a really great holiday. It is, of course, the new year. I always find it interesting whenever I go out and about and I'm, you know, going and doing things after the first of the year. But it's like, Happy New Year! You know? I'm like, okay, thanks. Thanks, I appreciate it, you know? Thanks for the new year. Why didn't you wish me Happy New Year all year long? What's wrong with you? So if you look, all I'm doing is putting in a roadmap. A roadmap being, you know, that kind of bottom sketch. Keeping things really loose, keeping things in terms of rhythm and flow. You can see how the lines are intersecting with each other. And I'm just basically kind of determine, based upon the reference, I'm changing it up a little bit. I'm not going to copy the reference per se. I am going to utilize it pretty extensively, but I do want to change up the kind of the characterization of what I'm seeing. And for those of you, this is just a really quick little photograph of a cat licking its paw with its eyes closed. And I don't want the eyes closed. I want them open. And I want sort of the feel of the piece to be a little bit different. So that's what I'm doing right now. Again, putting in those items, those things where they need to be. Of course, his feet. Here's his shoulder. Here's the bottom part. The nose typically is the area that I have a little bit of challenge with. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit for the cat. And this is going to be a characterization, not an exact replica, not an exact illustration of the cat. Because I'm going to have his eyes kind of like this. He's kind of looking, you know, kind of over. Trying to do this as fast as I can so you guys can have that eye come up. Again, giving it sort of that character feel. It's going to come in like this. And here's his mouth. Comes out around. He's got this area right there that comes around here like this. Good. Give him some little eyelashes or something fun. It's got this pattern. A lot of cats have patterns, of course. If it's a Sphinx cat, which I was originally going to do a Sphinx cat, but I decided not to do it because I wanted to, again, with the fur, I like drawing fur, and if any of you guys understand what a Sphinx is, it is a real cat. They don't have any fur on them. I used to work with a girl who had a Sphinx cat. He was old. Golly, I think he was 17 or 18 whenever he passed away. Had that paw come up. I did have it kind of break right there. Actually, I kind of like that. So let's do this. Have that come here around that basic shape of the face. Come here. There's the bottom part of his little jaw. Have some fur. And he was a fascinating animal. She had pictures. He was kind of grumpy at times. I don't remember what he passed away of. Might have been feline cancer, one of those ailments. And she had, basically grown up with the cat. It was her mother's. Fascinating animal. She had pictures of him, very cool animal. Let's go ahead and have this arm come around. So what I'm seeing, hopefully you guys can see this, his arm is pretty much straight. It's a little curved right here at the top, but this is where the muscle is. So that basic overall shape, as I do that the second time. So we're going to have that come around. Here's his shoulder, and it comes right here. And again, we're having that, just that shape. And we're going to have that curve. And then it comes down here. 1, 2, 3. We have some of his belly. Coming around here. Again, since he's being pulled down by gravity, you have this leg right here, this muscle mass, being squashed by the weight of him. It's like if you think of it this way. So, you can draw a circle, right? And then you have, let's say the circle was on something. Now, whenever it's sitting like this, and that sphere, it's rigid. You understand that that's a rigid form. So if I were to go ahead and do this, something like this, then you would say, oh, that's an organic. So whenever you draw animals, you got to think in terms, it does have a rigid skeletal system. Let's do the fur. But it has, the muscle is organic, the fat is organic, and gravity is pulling and pushing. Have his arm come down. So that's why, whenever you guys hear me talk about pushing and pulling the forms, that's what I'm talking about. I'm thinking, in terms of how, this fur is going to lay, how, the arm underneath is going to sit inside of that fat mass. That's always an interesting phrase. Fat mass. Right, and again, this is a little stylized, not much. So let's go ahead and draw. He's got that pattern that really accentuates form. So I don't even have to draw a lot of the, the bone structures and whatnot. Let's go ahead and shade that in a little bit. Have that tongue come out just a little bit. Have it come down. Right. So now we have that other pattern. Comes here. Shade that in slightly. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shade in some of those really simple areas and start defining as a three-dimensional shape. Okay, here's his shoulder that comes out, starts right there. Again, I'm thinking that pulling of that mass, go down to the bottom. Sometimes, you know, whenever you look at this, you know, thinking about how the foot is formed, you can look at that and get really confused with all of the internal structures and how you're looking at it in a foreshortened view. But if you just stop for a second and you kind of throw out all of that away, because you don't need it whenever you first do the initial sketch, you look at that shape and it's basically, make sure it doesn't fall again, which it wants to. Okay, it is a kind of an oval. So that's what I'm going to draw. I'm just going to draw that oval. And I'm going to do the same thing on the front foot. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the back foot. You know? I don't want to overcomplicate things. Let's have that tail kind of come up instead of down and around. Because it's thinking. Cats use that tail as that additional kind of hand. Right? They're always flipping it. You can tell a lot of times what a cat is doing. You know, that's just not house cats either. It's large, you know, larger, big cats, felines. So now, if you look, so we're going to go back to our reference, and I'm always going back to the reference. I'm looking at the reference. So all of these patterns that I'm seeing, again, help accentuate gravity. You know, how it comes around. Again. And I've got this pattern that comes around and wraps around his waist. And he's got these other patterns that come around. So that shoulder. Let's go ahead and shade in a little bit. Let's do this. Comes around. I want to come back, kind of mirror. He's not very. There's some sinister things going on in his brain as he plays like he's licking his paw. He's actually plotting your demise, slowly but surely, as he waits till you go to sleep, and then he sits on your chest. I used to have. Again, the girl that I used to work with, you know, she had cats, and she would say she couldn't have nice things. She couldn't have a Christmas tree. She couldn't have any of that. And I'm like, oh man, that stinks. You know, I'm actually allergic to cats, or at least the ones with a lot of fur. I'm sure if I had a Sphinx, I wouldn't be allergic. And you know, cats are cool, right? I think they're just cool. You know, I've had dogs all my life, but I've always had a inclination to really want a cat. They're really just so neat, so full of character, right? So then he's got these kind of striations that come around. What we're going to do is just going to have some whiskers come out, simple whiskers, a little shading on the side of the nose, a little shading underneath. Again, this is kind of a stylized drawing for you guys this morning. I'm going to try to get some shorter drawings out for you guys, some shorter little things so we don't bog the channel down. Trying to build a channel. Incidentally, if you're sitting here watching this video and you're like, this is fun. This is kind of the bread and butter of the channel, kind of showing you little tips and tricks of illustration, of drawing, of how I approach things. I am an industry professional. I've been an illustrator for about since I graduated in 2000, so about 22 years. A little bit longer since I did some freelance work and whatnot before then. Let's go ahead and have that side come out. You know what, I want this tooth. And this is kind of what I do. You know, I like showing you guys how to do things. I do reviews as well. Let's have that little sinister smile right there. Okay, now we're going to think in terms of silhouette. I'm going to have that come down. Again, I'm heavily relying upon that pattern to help me kind of define where things are. His neck and that muscle right there. I want that to come around. And then you've got this striation that comes under. And you've got these, again, here, here, here. So if I go ahead and do this on the side, I can go ahead and just start putting in some of those, you know, the fur, how the fur helps accentuate that form. Comes around that bridge right there of the nose, a little shading underneath. That's going to be shadowed just slightly. Yeah, and this is basically what I do. You know, sometimes I'll have longer illustrations, sometimes I'll have tutorials, sometimes I'll have product reviews. And all you got to do is hit that subscription bell or subscribe, and then hit that notification bell so you guys get the videos. See, what is happening in the algorithm is I'm not getting, you know, I get decent views. Not really. I mean, those who watch my channel know I've been doing this a while, and I haven't cracked the algorithm yet. You know, I've been doing this 5 years, 6 years, gosh, 8 years. I've been doing YouTube since 2014, you know, and I appreciate all the subscribers. Definitely appreciate you guys. Hopefully you've learned something on the channel. But definitely want to get that viewership up. And so now we're going back down to that foot. So now I want to go ahead and put a little bit more detail, but I'm not going to get out of control with it because I want the focus to be up here. So I'm just going to, you know, put a little bit of indication of fur and how the toes separate on that foot. Same thing here. And then of course there's one in the back. And we can shade these in a little bit to bring that front foot forward. And here we go. But yeah, trying to grow the channel. 2022 that's one of my main focuses, is to grow the channel and get better content to you guys, and maybe some tutorials that you guys can purchase. That's what I want to do. So that's drawing a cat, or at least a characterization of a cat, using reference. So then maybe I'll do, coming back, here's our reference. You can see the body is, you know, some of this is very similar, but I didn't go in and copy exactly what I saw. I stylized it somewhat, and I changed the overall what the cat was doing. Because frankly, this is a friendly cat. He's just licking his paw, minding his own business. And this cat right here, let's go ahead and get rid of that reference. This cat right here looks like he's going to cut you with a switchblade. When you're not looking. See, that's the trick, isn't it? Let's have that tongue come out. He's like, So hopefully this quick and dirty. Quick and Dirty. That's the name of this channel. Quick and Dirty. I'm just kidding. I kid. And this obviously could be a basis for, you know, this is something that I would put in my sketchbook for you guys later on if I decide I want to do something with a cat. Let's go ahead and shade this in a little bit. Sketchbook. This is where a lot of failures happen. This is where a lot of fun happens. And you can come back. Right? Let's have that eye come up. That comes up. You know, on this channel, typically, whenever I do something like this, I want to come up with a name. He knows. Something's gonna happen. You know? You moved his kitty box for the last time, Holmes. You know? What is his name? His name's Charles. Get that. What I'm doing right now is I'm going back and just putting a little indication of fur here and there, just again to kind of fluff him out a little bit. Having some fun. And that's it. That's what I wanted to show you guys today. Just some fun warm-up sketch of a cat. Please like and subscribe if you like what you see. And hit that notification bell because lots of videos coming, lots of videos coming, lots of fun. You know, hopefully more reviews. Not really a review guy, but I like doing them. So, that's it for today, guys. We'll see you next time.